Hello, hockey fans, and welcome to Inside the WCHA. I'm Ryan Phelps. Find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and we had a great final on Saturday at WCHA.tv, where you've got the best seat in the house. There you can stream games all season long on any device. Not a bad time to get an early jump on next season. Saturday night was the big one, down to our final two teams. An all Upper Peninsula championship game with Northern Michigan, the 2 seed, hosting number 5 Michigan Tech. Winner takes home the inaugural Jeff Sauer WCHA Championship trophy. The single game final with the high seed getting home ice advantage sends us to Marquette. But first, let's take a quick look at how these two teams got here. With the series tied at 1 apiece, we head to the decisive Game 3. And overtime to boot between Northern Michigan and Bowling Green. Troy Loggins does what we've seen him do all season long, the bomb from up top, and Northern Michigan wins 3-2 to clinch the 3-game series 2-1. Michigan Tech swept Bemidji State in the opening round and drew number 1 Minnesota State in the semis. This one also went to 3 games and likewise into overtime. A missed Mavericks chance leads to a Husky rush. Jake Jackson goes coast to coast and beats Connor LeCouvier for the 2-1 win, and they advance to Saturday's single-game championship. So 2 first-year coaches in the Wildcats, Grant Petone, and the Huskies, Joe Shawn, up in the UP, winner takes all. It was a sold-out crowd, almost 4,300 fans in attendance. 2 red-hot goaltenders in Northern Michigan's Ate Tolvanen and Michigan Tech's Packy Munson. This one scoreless through 1, so we pick it up early second, Tech on the attack. Mitch Meek drills one off the end wall and gets a lively bounce. Justin Mishiak gets it out front. Tolvanen can't cover, and Grayson Reitmeyer, the freshman, right place, right time, knocks it home, and the Huskies are up 1. Munson has been standing on his head since taking over for Devin Carroll, who went down after Game 1 of the semifinal series. He does it again here. Beautiful setup, Luke Volton over to D'Amico Hanoun, but look at that stretch. And Munson keeps it a 1-goal game. He wasn't done. Troy Loggins, always clutch, scored the OT game winner last week. This time Munson wins the battle, and it remains 1-0. Wildcats with the empty net behind them, but the Huskies on the forecheck. The initial shot is blocked. It ends up on Joel El Esperon's tape, and he slips it through a pair of defenders for a 2-0 lead. Closing seconds, offensive zone face-off for the home team this time. The shot is tipped, but with a high stick. The goal is disallowed, and for the second straight year, Michigan Tech wins the WCHA playoffs. 2-0 the final, this time winning 5 of 6 on the road as the 5 seed. They received the first ever Jeff Sauer WCHA Championship trophy from Commissioner Bill Robertson, and Joe Shawn goes out on top in his first year in Houghton.
What a great thrill. Jeff is such a great man. Such a great man, did so much for hockey. You know, just so fortunate, right? So blessed. I just thank the Lord for the opportunity to work with these guys, these seniors, the last 4 years. They've won a lot of titles. There's no quit in them. I don't think anybody picked us to certainly be in the championship game, let alone come out on top. So the players, I give them all the credit in the world. I just love those guys.
We're on the road every game in playoffs, and no one expected us to win with us being the 5th seed. So it's just a huge testament to the group of guys we have here and our character for sure.
The 3 stars of the game were Justin Mishiak, who assisted on the game winner, Grayson Reitmeyer, who scored the game winner, and the most outstanding player, no surprise, goaltender Patrick Munson. So that wraps up the WCHA tournament. Let's see how it affects the NCAA brackets. Michigan Tech earns the automatic bid with the win Saturday. They get the 4 seed in the East behind Notre Dame, Providence, and Clarkson. Minnesota State, a 2 seed in the West behind top-ranked St. Cloud State. They're joined by Duluth and Air Force. In the Northeast, it's Cornell, Michigan, Northeastern, and BU. And finally in the Midwest, Ohio State, Denver, Penn State, and Princeton. Here are the first-round matchups in Bridgeport, Connecticut, a 3 p.m. Eastern Time puck drop. Michigan Tech draws the overall number 2 seed Notre Dame. The winner gets either Providence or Clarkson on Saturday. In Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Minnesota State takes on Minnesota Duluth on Friday at 7:30 Eastern. If they win, they move on to face St. Cloud or Air Force. The quarterfinals are Saturday. The Frozen Four is right down the road from our studios here in St. Paul, Minnesota at the XL Energy Center in 2 weeks. The semifinals are April 5th, followed by the National Championship game on April 7th. Quick side note for you devotees, this is the first time since 1977 that the NCAA tournament field is missing Boston College, North Dakota, and Minnesota. That's over 40 years. Should make for a fun final stretch. Okay, let's finish up with our annual awards. The 2017-18 Coach of the Year is Northern Michigan's Grant Potolny. In his first year as an NCAA Division I head coach, Potolny has engineered the finest Northern Michigan season in over a decade and its best league campaign in 26 years. The Wildcats entered the WCHA Championship tied for third nationally in victories with their first 25-win season in 16 years. After Northern Michigan was picked by league coaches and media to finish 7th in the WCHA preseason polls, Potolny guided the Wildcats to a second-place finish with a 17-7-2-2 record. The 19 wins represented the school's most league victories in any conference since the 90-91 team captured the McNaughton Cup as WCHA regular season champions en route to NMU's only NCAA national title. The Defensive Player of the Year is Bowling Green's Alec Rawhauser. The WCHA All-Rookie Team selection in 2016-17 put together a standout sophomore campaign for a nationally ranked Bowling Green squad. He ranks second among league blue liners with a +16 rating while tallying 6 goals and tied for first with 20 assists in 28 WCHA games. A special teams dynamo, he tallied a league defenseman best 13 power play helpers and a WCHA high 16 power play points. While finding his name on the score sheet in 17 league contests, Rawhauser also ranked among the WCHA top 20 defensemen with 34 blocked shots. His overall .95 points a game currently ranks 7th amongst NCAA blue liners. The goalie of the year is Ate Tolvanen of Northern Michigan. The Wildcats' surprising run to second in the WCHA standings was fueled by many factors, including Tolvanen's play in net. Despite missing 6 games due to injury, he tied for the league lead with 17 WCHA wins and ranked second with a .773 winning percentage in his 22 starts. He also was second in the league with a .917 save percentage and 2 shutouts, while finishing third with a 2.05 goals against average. The junior, who in 2016-17 set the WCHA men's league record with 5 consecutive shutouts, yielded 2 or fewer goals in 13 of his league starts, including 2 shutouts and 4 games with just a single goal allowed. Tolvanen entered the WCHA Championship game tied for the NCAA lead with 23 overall wins. The Rookie of the Year is Minnesota State's Jake Jaremko. In a league that currently features 4 of the NCAA's top 20 scoring freshmen overall by points per game, Jaremko emerged as the best with one of the finest rookie seasons in Minnesota State history. He led the talented crop of WCHA freshmen in league play with 31 points, 11 goals, 6 power play goals, and 12 power play points, while he was second with 20 assists and a +13 rating. Jaremko tallied at least a point in 20 of his 28 WCHA games, including 8 multi-point efforts, helping Minnesota State to a 22-victory McNaughton Cup winning campaign. He is currently second nationally amongst freshmen with 39 total points and averaged a point a game, numbers Jaremko will look to improve upon when the number 6 Mavericks open NCAA tournament play. And finally, with 2 awards, also from Minnesota State, C.J. Cease, our Offensive Player of the Year, and the overall WCHA Player of the Year. Cease was the top offensive threat on the league's highest scoring team, becoming the first Maverick skater to capture the WCHA scoring title after tallying 36 points in 28 conference games. The senior scored a league-high 19 goals, added 17 assists, and posted a WCHA best +19 rating. Cease collected at least 1 point in an impressive 23 league games including 10 multi-point efforts. He factored in 9 game-winning goals for the 22-win Mavericks, scoring 4 himself and assisting on 5 others. The first All-WCHA performer added 11 points on the power play, was on the ice for a league-best 32 even-strength Minnesota State goals, and contributed a WCHA high 380 face-off wins. Cease enters the NCAA tournament this week as a Hobie Baker Memorial Award Top 10 finalist. It should be a fun run and a wide-open field for the Frozen Four, and we'll be back next week with highlights from Sioux Falls and Bridgeport as we continue to follow Minnesota State and Michigan Tech on their quest for a title. Thanks again for joining us, and until next time, I'm Ryan Phelps saying so long from St. Paul.